Unsettling revelations emerged showing a sanctioned terror financing group received funding from the Obama administration. One America's Hans Hubbard reports.
A newly released report confirms the Obama administration intentionally sent money to an organization with deep ties to international Islamist terrorism. Republican Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley, who chairs the Senate Finance Committee, recently released a report detailing the findings of a probe into suspected ties between a U.S. charity and a known funder of terrorism. The investigation was launched in 2019 after the Middle East Forum, an independent conservative think tank, uncovered a payment of about $200,000 to the Islamic Relief Agency, or ISRA, quietly earmarked in a 2014 USAID grant.
So firstly, what is the Islamic Relief Agency? Well, founded in the 1980s in Sudan, it is a very important component of the international Salafi jihadist financial network. At its height, it had over 40 branches around the world, including here in the US. It has always been involved in terror. There's been no doubt about it. It has been keenly involved with terrorist groups for decades, including bin Laden, the precursor to Al-Qaeda. Maktab al-Khidmat worked very closely with the Islamic Relief Agency to the extent that they even shared officials, went on trips together.
ISRA was founded in the 1980s and has been a key player in the international infrastructure that finances global terrorism ever since. Early in its history, it established formal ties with Maktab al-Khidmat, an organization co-founded by Osama bin Laden to recruit fighters into the Mujahideen and widely known as the precursor to Al-Qaeda. It has funneled millions of dollars to international terrorist organizations, including Hamas, Afghan terror groups, and Islamist insurgents in Iraq, and even sought to aid in efforts to relocate bin Laden to a safe haven after the terrorist attacks of September 11th. According to the report, an evangelical charity, World Vision, requested the USAID grant to partner with ISRA in 2014, ostensibly for a humanitarian project in Sudan, and failed to properly vet them, entering into the agreement despite the fact ISRA had been listed as a sanctioned terror financing organization for a decade at that point. A third party alerted World Vision of this, and the charity sought clarification from the US Treasury, temporarily halting all payments to ISRA while awaiting confirmation. The Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control, which oversees USAID grants, initially prohibited World Vision from continuing the payments, stating any funding of ISRA would violate anti-terrorism laws. Yet, astoundingly, the Finance Committee report finds, at this point, the Obama State Department intervened, approving the payment of more than $125,000 to ISRA. Islamist Watch director Sam Westrop has pointed out, while there is no direct evidence this was part of a wider plan, it is at the very least a grossly negligent error, and falls in line with the Obama administration's naive policy of, quote, treating Islamists as forces of democratization and legitimizing Islamists as gatekeepers to the Muslim community. As evidence, Westrop points to then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's numerous statements in support of the Muslim Brotherhood's transition to power in Egypt in 2012, as well as the Obama administration's invitation of leaders of groups founded by known Islamists to pilot programs for its Countering Violent Extremism initiative. The Obama administration's penchant for entering into deals with entities known to have funded terror was also noted by Senator Ted Cruz on the occasion of the Iran nuclear deal, with the senator lamenting this as an inherent feature of Obama-era foreign policy.
The single greatest national security threat facing America is the threat of a nuclear Iran. Now, several weeks ago, I observed that if this deal goes through, the Obama administration will become, quite literally, the world's leading financier of radical Islamic terrorism. I think the parallels between this administration and the Carter administration are uncanny. Same failed economic policy, same misery, stagnation, and malaise. Same feckless and naive foreign policy.
Hans Hubbard, One American News.
Want to see more videos like this? Visit OANN.com for immediate access to all the clips you've been waiting to see.